Can I speak to your manager? This is like talking to furniture.
I'd like to speak to your manager. I'd like to speak to your mother. Tell her she should be embarrassed. She raised someone to act like a baby in public. You want to speak to the manager, please? Manager doesn't know what's going on. Haven't you ever worked anywhere before?
Welcome back to the Breakroom, where it doesn't matter who you are or what reality you're from, we're here to deliver a fourth wall break that helps you escape your daily grind. And today, we're going to talk about the premiere of the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye. Let's get into it. We start with episode 1, and we get Kate Bishop as a child in the midst of the Battle of New York. With the Chitauri attacking, they lock in on Kate, and Hawkeye really coming in clutch to save Kate from an imminent death. And it looks like ever since this date, Kate pretty much makes up her mind that due to the mysterious death of her father and the way Hawkeye saved her life, she wants to be like him. Skip ahead, we get to Kate basically destroying a bell tower with amazing accuracy archery-wise. We meet Kate's mom and Jack, or Jock Duquesne. This character is actually going to become known to folks as the swordsman. Skip ahead, we get to Clint at the theater. He gets a little encounter with a weirdo in the stalls. I mean, seriously, folks. You walk up to the urinals and you see nobody there except one dude. You don't come up next to him. That's just not how it goes. Also, the play gives Clint a little bit of PTSD, which is understandable given that he participated in the battle that they're singing and dancing about. Fast forward and we get to Kate meeting Jack's uncle at a charity dinner. This is Armand Duquesne. This character in the comics is actually Jock's father. They did a little bit of shuffling here in the MCU story for it, but don't get too used to him though. Kate stumbles upon an underground auction at the charity dinner where the suit and sword of Hawkeye's Ronin alias from Endgame is being auctioned off. That gets broken up by the tracksuit mafia, literally crashing through the wall in search of mysterious Avengers watch. Kate suits up and fights the tracksuit mafia in the Ronin gear, which is pretty cool. She ends up saving Lucky the dog from getting destroyed by a car, takes him back to the apartment, leaves him there with one slice of pizza. One slice of pizza, Kate. That's it. That's it for Lucky. Clint sees Ronin in suit on TV, breaking news, and basically has an oh shit moment. Kate leaves her apartment, tracks Armand somehow with the technology that her mother's security business has, heads to his place, only to find some monogram butterscotch candy and a dead Armand Duquesne with a sword wound. Kate flees, fights the tracksuits again, and this time gets a little bit more than she bargained for, and Clint kind of saves the day. We jump into episode 2 with Clint finishing what he started in that fight, and he safely gets Kate back to her apartment. You can sense the worriness in his tone about being hailed by the tracksuit mafia or whoever else they're working with. The tracksuits eventually find them, set fire to that apartment, not before we see some of the footage that we saw in the trailer. They then go to Kate's aunt's. Clint dresses Kate's wounds. Clint sends his kids home on a plane, but not before he promises his daughter that he'll be home for Christmas. Clint then takes Kate to work the next day. They exchange numbers, and Clint's basically like, hey, don't call me, okay? Kate gets to work, has a little exchange with her mother and Jack. They set a dinner date for that night where Kate sets the terms of conversation. Skip back to Clint, and he tracks the suit to a LARPer. Yeah, that's a live action role player. I saw the scene, not gonna lie, and all I could think about was role models. You know what I'm talking about.
Come, let us gingerly touch our tips.
Clint gets in the game though, ends up making a deal with the LARPer who took the suit to let him kill him, and ends up getting the suit back. Turns out the LARPer's name is Grills. We talked about this a little bit in my past video. Guess I was wrong on who we thought could have been Grills. So, almost a certainty we'll see this guy again. We get back to Kate's story and see her facing off against Jock in a fencing match where he's pretty much toying with her and she knows it. But she proves that he's doing it after he takes off his mask and she goes for a strike only to have him immediately parry. Skip back to Clint. After an exchange with his wife, he decides he needs to let the tracksuits take him in so he could find out who their leader is and really just end the situation. Kate, after an encounter with Jock, calls Clint twice in a row, but by then, Tracksuit Mafia already has his phone, and well, they pick up, leading Kate to track the phone and bust in on the situation. And this whole scenario with Clint sitting in that chair tied up really was a callback and made me think about Black Widow back in Avengers 1 in the scene where she's actually dealing with some Russians too. But by episode's end, we meet Echo and Clown. These characters are going to tie in some big things coming up. Echo in particular is the adopted daughter of Kingpin. And folks, let's talk about some bigger questions that we have from these two episodes. First off, what is the importance of this watch? Most think that it was a watch owned by Tony Stark, and some kind of tech that he built into it has something to do with why the Russians or whoever they're working for want it. Who really killed Armin? Bear with me, I got a pretty wild theory here. We're being led to believe in this series that Jock is the bad guy, the evil stepfather. But if you hadn't noticed, he's being played by a lesser known actor. I mean, honestly, did anybody even know about him before this series came out? I know I didn't personally. And then on the other hand, we have Kate's mother being played by Vera Farmiga, who has been in some big feature films in the past. Pretty well known. She was in The Conjuring, Godzilla King of the Monsters, The Judge, and even The Bates Motel. Another theory that some people have, and I'm starting to believe as well, is there's a lot more than meets the eye with Kate's mother, Eleanor Bishop. They've already kind of deviated from what Kate's parents are in the comics, being that her father's not dead, and I actually don't think he's dead here either. We'll probably talk about that in future videos. Kate's mother actually really resembles someone in the Matt Fraction run named Madame Mask. Now, what if Kate's mother, with this high-tech security business she has that has some crazy advanced tracking system that Kate can just use at the drop of a dime, is actually the one that the Tracksuit Mafia is working for? What if? Be on the lookout for that in future episodes. And the last big question that I have is, how soon will we see the Kingpin in this show? We already pretty much made aware that the Tracksuit Mafia is a joke. Clint's wife even kind of confirms it. With that being said, we're already tied in to two bigger villains or possibly future anti-heroes in Echo and the Clown. So is Kate's mom going to end up being the big bad? And then maybe at a later time, we get a post-credit scene with the Kingpin? Or are they just going to introduce us to Kingpin like early? I know there's only 6 episodes to this show, but hey, it's possible. Let me know what you think, guys, about the Madame Mask theory, Kate's mother, how soon we're going to get Kingpin, and anything else you agree or disagree with me in the comment section. If you hung out this long and watched the whole way through, I really appreciate it. That's all I have for today. Like, subscribe. Until next time, this has been your 4th Wall Break. And now, your moment of memes.